Welcome to day 3 of this. Now, if you haven't followed any of it, make sure you look at day 1, day 2, day 3, and it's basically how we're going to get a lovable website and make it rank for SEO. And I did a whole presentation about why Lovable is so cool. We like it because we can add high level. I got some good videos on it, but SEO sucks because of how it's built out. And then we're going to use Claude Code and a technique used by the boring marketer because he's actually done it. And we are going to revamp our entire website. So we have a sample website with Claude, configure it to be part of the Astro framework. We use the Astro framework and hopefully get a ranking on SEO. So last video kind of really showed you how to go from Lovable, get Lovable onto GitHub, get GitHub onto your local computer, and then I kind of showed you actually as a bit of a bonus how to go backwards and forwards. So if you want to edit Lovable sites on your local computer and then send it back to Lovable via GitHub, and you can do it and actually save a bit of money on it. But what we needed to do is we needed to change our entire website. So we need to change the entire framework. So Claude had to go and take the information, the file structure, the copy, the images, and make a total new site that is as close and look alike as the other website, but done in a different framework. Now, that might sound easy, but a lot of the time the structures are different, the file paths are different. So it's hard for it to keep the copy sometimes the same, and it's the copy, the structure, the layout. But it did it. So when you watch yesterday's video, I use Super Claude, and I'll talk to you about how to add Super Claude into your Claude code. And when you use the build command, it did pretty well. And so I kind of stopped the video because obviously it goes out long. And the first site just did not look good. And we're not talking to, there's a new option in Claude where you can use Opus for the planning and then use Sonnet for the rest of it. And I think that's where it kind of fell apart a little bit. So I went back into Claude, read it the whole thing, said use as much of your Opus tokens and tickets as you can. I select the more option, and then it built out the first page. So the whole idea was that we were gonna get it. So this is the website, and I don't know how much I've actually talked about it in the previous videos, but it's a hairdressing website. It's in a small town, so it's very niche specific as well. So traffic will be low in general, so I don't know if it's gonna be the best of tests to do, but we're gonna see how we do it anyway. What's the use of testing when, it's a great time to test and fail and see what doesn't work. But Opus did really well. Claude Code with Opus did really well, and it created the first page. So my instruction was to go and recreate this first page as good as you can, and it did awesome with it. So after that, I ran out of tokens, eventually, the Opus tokens, and then it switches over to Sonnet. And when it has this structure, so I said to do the first page, so you get the structure, you get the theme, you get the nav bar in the top, you have the bits down the bottom. Once it had this, Sonnet 4 took over, and it did pretty well. So all I did was, I said do page 1, there was a little bit of tweaking I had to do. Do page 2, and there was a little bit of tweaking I need to do. And I just went through, there's technically 11 pages in total. There's the services page, there's the about page, the gallery page, contacts, FAQs, there's a booking page in here. And this connects back to high level, so it was really, really specific to get this right. And it actually just got it right straight off. So within a couple of hours, it took me a while because I was doing other things as well. And again, this is just a side project. I'm sure if you smash this out, you can do it all within one day, depending on your tokens. But I did it and did pretty well. So this is the first page. Also what I did eventually was I said, oh, can you just add some more flair to it? So just keep in mind, the more fancy stuff you build onto your website, the harder it's gonna, well, not the harder, the more or slower load time is gonna be. So it's gonna affect your SEO. So you don't want fancy stuff in there really as much. You want to make it look good, but you don't want fireworks and stuff pop up and stuff. So anyway, I said, oh, just add a little bit more flair to it, and it did. And so this is the original site. This is built with Lovable. The design is in Lovable. It is the Vite React combo for it, so it's renders with on my browser rather than the server side of things. And this is the page that it actually duplicated. So a little different, but well in there, very same, right? So you can see some of the fonts change a little bit. It did all this all in one go with Opus. Like Opus did really well with the first page, and then it was really easy to build out the second page. So there's a little bit of animation with the buttons that I asked for the top. So it's very minimal. Don't know if you can see that. Like this just changes color. This is a bit of a wiggle to it. But everything worked out pretty well. Like it's up there with doing it very similar. Okay, so if it wasn't for like one for one, you wouldn't quite realize that there is a difference. Okay, so um, it does take some time, and again, if you probably come and watch the Boring Marketer's actual video, he uses something very similar where he takes a Figma site, he converts the Figma site to React components, which is kind of the same, the files and the structure and layout, and then converts them as well. So it's kind of the same where Lovable creates our site for us with the components and design, and then um this built it out for us. Okay, so Claude built it out for us. That's pretty good. um yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's got the functionality to it. It's got there was the forms that I was worried about a little bit in here. So you can see these look a little bit different, some of it, but it's in there. I don't want to twink with it too much because we are gonna build some stuff out different. So this is actually a high level form, and the bookings is so the reason this is loading very long, by the way, this is server-side rendering, so I had to start a server on my computer, and I'm gonna show you that soon as well. So, yeah, this is all high level, so it's high level integrated, so it works really well. Okay, so, and I'll show you this quickly so you understand. So, in the previous video, if you watched the previous video, I would have shown you how we loaded, out a project, and when it loads, see if I can zoom into this. When it loads, when we start our server, we can start a development server with npm and node.js on your computer, so you can test things up before uploading it backwards and forwards. And when you do that, it usually says uh, loads of Vite. If you go watch the previous video, you'll see. So this shows that we're loading the Astro framework that comes in here, and this is kind of what I mean. Like it renders the site on your server, and you can see it comes up to the files, and then it starts rendering the files on your server, which is your computer. So it is a little bit slower in this, but obviously when you upload it to a big hosting service, it's going to be a lot faster. So I had to go for a couple of things where I had to update my software as well. And if it doesn't work for you, just hit ChatGPT, because for some reason, if go back to the whole Linux side of things, I was updating my system, but it wasn't updating Node for some reason, and I was like struggling for a little while because I had to be in the next version of Node, and I was doing the update, but it just was not updating it. And all I literally did was come up to ChatGPT, see if I can open that thread. And it's like, oh, come on, help me out already. And I literally said, it's not updating. It's giving me this error. It's not updating. And then it just told me exactly what to do. And I literally just copy and paste this over, and it was updated from 18 to 20. So it worked. Okay. So that's how I did all of that. Now, what we need to do next is we are going to do some stuff in Claude as well. So there is that. And so when we follow the Boring Marketer's steps, he has the prompts that he's used in here, and we're going to use this. But before it does that, we are going to do some keyword research. So we are going to use all our large language modules that we can. and we're going to think about updating a couple of it. We're going to use agents as well. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to come to Claude. So I've opened Claude, Perplexity, 2 ChatGPTs, and we're going to go with Gemini Deep Research. And I'm going to put Manus in here as well. I got that as once a day you can log on with 300 credits. So I'm going to see if I can make use of those 300 credits. But what we're going to say is, and what I need to do in here, see if I can just copy the services. Can I copy these? Yeah. So I'm going to come to services. So we're going to do some keyword research because we want to use it eventually. All right. What keywords are going to be good for this? So then I'm going to show you another keyword research tool a little bit later. So we're going to feed a bunch of prompts to these things. We're going to go away and we're going to come back in short. So I just had to re-bring up the Claude because it just crashed with my little voice prompt in here. I'm going to try it again. I'm creating a website for a hairdressing hair salon. I need to do some SEO on it, and I want you to help me research some keywords, both long tail and short tail keywords, and I'll provide you with the following information. Your task is going to be to do an extensive research and provide me with all the keywords and a bit of a strategy and suggestion when it comes to SEO and copy specifically for this website and this niche. I'll now provide you with the locations that we're going to service, and I will provide you with the actual services that we offer. So go out, give me a comprehensive full report on what keywords to use throughout the website and a bit of a SEO strategy and suggestions. Yeah. So I just wanted to do some stuff. So we're going to say the hair salon is called Hair by Melissa. The bigger area she is servicing is as Rodney Silverdale, New Zealand. This is part of Auckland, but this is the smaller. The local area is the Waitoki and Helensville. So I'm just saying big to small. So city is Auckland. I don't think we should say Auckland. So big suburb is Silverdale. Small is, so just saying big to small. So at the end of the day, I don't want to be ranking for hairdressing in Auckland because that's too far and too wide. However, Silverdale is the bigger area, and then the little smaller areas within is called Calcop, Waitangi, Waitoki, and Helensville. And then I'm going to say the services she provide is, I'm just going to copy these over. It'd be nice if I can just have it all in one, but that's all right. Let's just give it exactly like this. And come back to here. Because I'm lazy, give me the services in a list only. Instead of copy, paste, it's going to hit that. So, back to Claude. And here. Now, I'm going to copy this. We're going to let this do its deep research and go through this. And we'll come back to this tomorrow, as long as I can get this running. Then we're going to come to Perplexity. Now, I don't have a Perplexity plan. This is the free one. We'll let Perplexity do this just because it's got a little bit more searching to in it. Then we're going to come to ChatGPT. We are going to enable deep research and web search is on. And we're going to hit that one in there. Then we're going to come back and we're going to make use of the agent mode. So come through in here, agent mode, and we're going to smash the agent mode in it. And then we're going to come to Gemini Deep Research and we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to come back to these tomorrow. So I'm going to paste this. Now, Gemini, let's give it a second because it comes up with a plan. In fact, we come in here, we hit the mark on this as well. I don't know how far we're going to get on 300 credits, but might as well have a go. Let's say we find something really awesome. Hopefully between the 4 of them, 3 of them, we're going to find something pretty cool. So Minus will do its thing. Yes, don't really need to use Context 7, but fine, use it. And I'm sure there's some good MCP tools and as well. I'm not sure what we're doing here with Perplexity. It's not working too well. We'll get back to that. All right. So usually just a tip by deep research tools always ask a bit of questions, which is quite cool. But then from details before I begin to give a research strategy, who is the primary target audience? Ladies that need, let's say, one. Ladies that need haircuts / treatments / styling. 2, do you want to target any specific demographic groups? So she likes keratin, so not really. She specializes in keratin. I don't even know how to spell that. Hair straightening. 3, are there any existing competitors? Lots, but I don't want to list them. 4, would you like SEO recommendations for the main website or also both? I will create. It says, do you want also for a blog? So we're gonna go and create blogs later on. So when you follow the marketer, he does the updates on the websites, and then we create a bunch of blogs attached to the website. So both, I will create the main page, and then I will add some blog posts to it. So it's going to be part of our later build as adding blogs to our website. So hit internet one. Let this one do its thing. This is come up with a plan. Hit the start button in there. This is doing its thing. So awesome. Now we'll come back to all of these in the next video. What we're going to do is do some Claude stuff now. We're going to come back in here and we're going to do our first thing is going to be number 1. So he's written out very cool how he's done his audits and what he's going to take and do. We're going to come through and do this. So we'll see what Claude brings up. So let me bring this back up. I'm in my main directory again. I'll zoom all the way out on this. So there we go. Hit some plus buttons. I'm just going to say Claude. And I'll move this back up here. And then I'm going to say yes. So welcome to Claude. So what I talked about previously was when I did this and I did the model one, I did the planning phase out of it, use Opus 4.1 for the planning, and then go out building it before. And it didn't work with that, but then I went back to the default one. It does this sometimes. model. I went back up to the default one, this one here. So it uses Claude for up to 20% of the usage. Yeah. No, I used this one, sorry. I'm sure it said 50% earlier on, so I don't know if it's changed or not, or just me. But we're gonna go with use Opus 4 for the complex tasks. Let's stick with this. Oops. Let's change it. Don't know what happened here. No, I'm gonna go with that. I don't know what's gonna be best for this because there's gonna be some planning involved. But anyway, all we guys gonna do is first say, we're just gonna say this and it initialize the new Claude.md file. Just say read the code base, understand the website. It is a site for a hairdresser. Build out an Astro. Now, I'm just going to tell Claude, because I'm starting a new one, go out and understand what it is. Now, it would probably have been smarter of me to not use Opus for this. Right? So, I was not thinking it. If you do this late, don't use Opus for understanding. Keep your tokens for Opus writing stuff. While it does that, we can go through and see what all these say. So this is still going. I don't know what's happening here. Why answer sources? Is this not? Don't know what's happening with perplexity over here. It's because I don't have a paid plan on it, but I just thought it's pretty good at searching websites. Here we go. That's a bit better. So this is kind of just like a normal LLM answer, and it's kind of like the basics: hair salon, and then different versions of hair salon, plus different versions of locations. Okay, so here's our keywords, and here service specific keywords, SEO copies. So we're gonna get we're gonna get Claude to do all these. Anyway, there's a bit in here. This is still gonna do its thing. This is that it? Okay. That's a pretty fast agent use. We'll get back to that. And well, Gemini's done too. And says minus. Anyway, we're gonna get back to those tomorrow. I just want to start this main prompt for you. So it's gone through, it's analyzed the website, and there's a professional hair salon, built an Astro framework. So we are just gonna smash the prompts exactly like this. So we're gonna come through in here and I'm gonna copy this and see if it's smart enough to just use this. So prompt, analyze this website for SEO, issue and create a prioritized list of optimizations, identify all technical SEO issues that we could impact on. You can fix what you don't know is broken, start with conferences. Also, I need to say this. I'm just going to tell it what our main domain is because it's not connected to anything. And a lot of referencing is going to have to be done with the actual domains to it. So our main domain is, and I'll just go add this and just say at the moment it is not connected. We are working offline on our home computer. Just so it knows that. So we are going to need to build some backlinking at some time. So not quite sure how. I haven't gotten to that far of thinking yet, but at some stage we're going to have to actually have the actual URLs linked backwards and forwards, and then once we do that, the URLs is going to be broken because it's sitting on here when we go backwards and forwards. So let's smash this and see what happens here. And we'll just look at the basics, and this is pretty much going to be it for today. I'll go through all these, and it's going to go out and do a bunch of things. So it's going to look at the meta tags, review SEOs. So yeah, it's going to go do through all of those and look at it, and then I'm going to ask it about some stuff later on. So it's going to do, each agent is going to do its own thing, but I'm going to ask it about these and ask if it's done these, and then I'm going to ask it about the keywords, which we'll get back later on in the next video tomorrow. So right, I'm just going to add this to the end of the video anyway, and we're just going to keep going. I thought about making 2 parts of the video, and I had to come back the next day, but we'll keep going with this. So what's happened is Claude went through the page, found a bunch of things that's obviously missing, and it's spat out what we can do better. So it was only to have a look for us, right? So it hasn't taken any action yet. So what we have done is we've gone through all those large language modules, and they've all done a bit of a spiel for us. So I'm just going to go create a document just for us to go with and have a bit of a reference in there. And we're going to try refer to the document and then tell it to take the actions as well. So a really good cool thing to do is VS Code. If you don't have VS Code installed, it was just code. It's free to install, and again, it's not a IDE type programming tool, and you can add lots of cool things to it. It's pretty cool, but we're just going to use it to create an actual file. So I just need to go see where we're working again. I'm just going to navigate to my directory, and obviously should update this as well. But I'm going to say open folder, and we are going to go to, where did I save this? In my C drive. I got projects. Where's the other one? That there it is. I saved in this one. Projects. I saved it in SEO. So just finding the folder that we're in, and I'm in test 2 here and here, and I'm just going to say select this folder. I'm just going to move this to the side. So yes, I'm going to trust with what's in here, and I'm just going to shut this, go away with that. And all I'm going to say is just in here, it's create a new file, and I'm going to call this file SEO info. SEO info. No, come on. And we can just call this a txt for text file. And why is it not going full screen for us? Let me just make this a little bit bigger. I have this in here. In fact, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this. I'm going to go through all of these, and I'm going to just put this onto the side, and I'm just going to copy and paste. We're going to go through things that I like in here, and we're just going to copy and paste it over and paste it in here, so we can tell Claude just to look at this file for some info. So let's see what actual Claude came up with. And I want to give it too much because I also want Claude Code to go out and build it. So I just want to go think about, it's about the location specific keywords more than anything else. So we're just going to skim through this. You can read for those primary keywords to use. And it's going to write in here, keyword suggestions on the side here. And I said the foundation. So specific keywords present in revenue. I have that one. Balayage, Silverdale. Go away. So I'm just going to copy a couple of these over. There's obviously good keywords here in Silverdale. This is actually stuff that Claude's just come up by itself with its deep research. So this thing is really frustrating me. I actually don't know why that's up there. So that's some good keywords to use. Remain keywords. Hips. So I'm just going to copy these over onto the side. Most effective modifying keywords. Come on. Copy. So I'm just making a list on the side here. So I'm just going to quickly keep going with this. And I might just quickly pause this and we'll come back to it. So I've just quickly gone through and I've just made a little list like this. But I think this is going to be more usable later on when we're going to create those blog pages. So we're going to create some extra pages later on. The minus results was pretty average, I think, but Claude itself did a pretty good work. I mean, it goes on long and short term keywords, block content chaos ideas. So it's really cool. Actually, real cool SEO ideas in here. Perplexity, probably because I'm not in the proper plan, but both the GPT agents did a pretty good job coming up with it and SEO copywriting ideas, and pretty much it all has it's your typical long-term and short-term plus services mix in there, so which is really good. One of them I just wanted to show you this was the competition one, which was really good. So if there was just a normal this was just normal GPT-5, and what was cool about this was so foundational keywords, it has long-term keywords, service specific keywords plus location, which is which is going to be really important. But also the problem-based keywords, which I thought was quite smart. So the others didn't pick up on that one. And service plus occasion plus location, which is quite smart. Wedding here, graduation here. So these are quite cool. I would not have thought about this. So really cool, important things that we're probably going to use a little bit later on. Then it just talks about where to use them. But then also the Gemini deep research was pretty cool. So Google does good sometimes because it's a Google kind of service we're going to end up using, right? So I thought this is quite interesting where we have the competitor services. So it's going to happen. Gone through a bit of a competitor analytics, but it's really smart where it says where has it high value categories, where it has the alternative to competitors keywords as well. So it was in here somewhere. But pretty much you take your competitor and you say alternative to this, alternative to this, alternative to this, and that's a keyword as well, right? So pretty smart idea with that as well. So I'm just going to leave this text file in here, and I'm just going to copy the name of it, and we're just going to come back to Claude and we're going to give it this prompt and we're going to tell it what to do. So where's my Claude? I'm going to bring this one back up. And I'm also gonna I'm just gonna copy and paste a couple of things. I'm gonna first say, so this is from our boring marketer. Copy this. So that is good. Let's start doing this. I like it. Also include this in your plans. So that it's in there, some of it. Further think about. Hold on a second. I'm going to come back and I'm just going to say, oh, sorry, did I copy that? Think about the services offered Also think about the location we are servicing. This thing. Yeah, and just spell it. My spelling is horrendous. Need to make sure this is right. And just saying, sorry, I forgot to talk. My spelling is horrendous today. So all I'm saying is we're gonna go out and do this. I'm gonna take the boring marketers little instructions in there. I'm gonna say please also think about the services. I'm also gonna say think about the location. Um, some of the sample only keywords are in the SEO info.txt. These are only samples. You figure out the rest. All right, so that should be good. And lastly, consider GEO the new. What does GEO actually stand for? Go to come in here and get it. Generative engine optimization. Also, think of that in there for search engines, but for LLMs to find websites. All right. So let's give that a go. We'll hit the enter and we're going to see where that goes and see where this takes us. And it should hopefully be interesting in here. So while it does all that, we'll see what comes up. I should have set the bold in. Hold on. I hit the escape button. I am going to type the up button. Then I'm going to say bold and hit the enter button. Yeah, I think I just broke it. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, there you go. I'm not actually sure if it's using the bold tool now. Did I spell that right? Yeah. I did not. So interrupted by user, and this is me not being all onto it at all. So I'm going to copy this, and it's the bold like that, and you'll see the difference. Paste that in again, and I'm hoping now it shows those little sub agents going. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was the same. Allowing 5 tools in this command. This is what I want to see. Okay, so it's going to use the extra tools for it. So, let it do its thing and let's see what it comes up with. I'm going to pause this and we'll come back, and then the next step we should do is we are going to say URL structure optimization, update this site to use the Apex domain instead of the subdomains. And I'm going to be a bit worried about this part because because if it puts in the backlinks to the other pages, I don't know if that is going to work for us when we test it, but we'll see how that goes. So if we backlink, if we are doing the internal links, not backlinks, if we're doing the internal links and we're doing and we're doing here by Melissa / contact, if that's going to be the backlinking, which it which helps. If we're going to do it in the website when we do the dev server, it's not going to work. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to pause this and then we'll come back and see when Claude's done. All right, let's have a read through and see what this has come up with. So, as I say, so we've hit our limit, so it's all right. It says perfect. Our site is done. Now let's create a quick summary of what we have done. So it's created the robots, the XML page. It's updated the URLs. The mobile app version is updated. It's one of the things we're going to do later on. Unique meta descriptions, local based services, service geotags, geocards. Okay. Facebook, Instagram. Okay, nice. I forgot about that. I actually totally forgot about those right away. Business schema, name, all team services for pricing the schema, opening hours. So fix the schema. That's good. Geo optimization, AI friendly meta tags. Nice. Pricing range indicators. Cool. Performance technicals. Nice. Okay, so right, so this is good. So now it does the tags. Tags was we used to have to do this manually. It's an absolute coding pain. Changing tags up. Even just this, it's just a save with any of these AI things. um, Good. Title enhance content. So expect SEO impact. Hairdressers in the top 3 position, it reckons. Hair salon north of. Right, smart. I did not think about this. This is kind of a local knowledge kind of thing. You get Auckland, and you can get north of Auckland, south of Auckland, South Auckland. This is smart. I like this. Yeah, nice. So this is just it's predictions, right? So this would be good. Imagine if I do this for her, she'll be so happy. It's one of my like free helping clients. So really, like if I can do this for her, she'll be pretty good with that. Enhance booking rates. The website's now optimized for. See, this is good, right? So this is the whole new GEO stuff. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's a generational thing. I'm not gonna go into the whole why and what is happening. But the theory is still, um, and it has in the boring marketers videos, theory is still that if you have good SEO, you will have good GEO. Right. So next step, submit to Google Search Console or do that. Verify the Google Business listing matching the schema. I have that. Monitor rankings, create blog content. That's what will get you build a local backlinks. So these are things I'm gonna have to do later on. And we're gonna get Claude ready, right? The website is now fully optimized for it. So interesting thing on this. So let's just go see what it next says. So update the site to use the Apex domain instead of W subdomains for better SEO. Consolidate. I think it's done this. So let's go give it this. And this time I'm going to remember the build. So reading on there, it's done a lot of these things, but I want to follow the guide. And we're going to follow the guide and what it said. And I'm actually not quite sure. Is this just the steps that it actually did? Okay. I'm gonna go through those, and I'm gonna say if you double check this if you haven't done this. I'm gonna say check if you have not done this, then do it. If you have, then check if you can do better. And I'm just gonna hit that one in there. And I'm gonna say that pretty much for all of them. Okay, so we're gonna go through all of these, but like it's done the schema. It's create a comprehensive diesel mechanic page. All right. So maybe this is what we should do next. So we might go all the way up to here. Creating pillar content. Okay. So while that's happening, I am. Let's go in here. So while it does that, I'm just going to do some research on here. So it's going to do this. I'll pause and I'll come back. Hey, so pause that, did some stuff, came back, and basically, in short, what I did is I wanted to follow this guide as closely as possible. Now, when we did those other things that were the initial prompt, it's actually gone and done a lot of these things for us. However, I went through the next couple of ones, which is again is going to be the structure and the sitemap, which it did before, and again the business schema. And all I just said was these three things in here, and I just said, check if this is done. If it's done, then leave it, or just see if we can do it better. And I said again about the sitemap we wanted to use. And it's just gone through and done a couple of things. And the last one is use the local business schema to be a little bit more specific in all the outputs in here. But you can see it's improved some little things. So upgrade from single hair salon to dual hair salon, beauty salon type. So it has done a couple of things. The thing I want to be careful with is that over prompting and over AI use is a real big thing that people don't realize. Like if I say this again, if I say the same line again, it's going to do the same thing again, and it's going to do changes again. And the more you do it, it's never really AI is never really going to be. Except if you're very specific with your prompting, it's not going to really just say, "Yeah, I've had enough now. This is good enough." If you ask it if it's good enough, it's going to say. If you're going to tell it to improve it, it's going to improve things over and over and over and over. And it it doesn't improve things. It just sometimes make things worse. So I'm very careful with doing that. So it's done a lot of things for us. Very specific with it. So let's go check out and see if the website still works. So remember back from the other videos, open a new terminal, and the command is npm run dev. It just means we're starting our server, development server on our local computer, and hit that enter button in there. Now, I actually don't know if it's this. Let's see if A, it still looks okay, and B, if it's still functioning with the URL. So while this loads, I'll just open a new tab in here. Oops. And so this will be the actual end of the video after this. And what we're going to do next in the next video is we're going to build out the extra pages in it. So I'll get to it soon. So I'm going to hit the copy in here. I'm going to hit this in here, hit the enter. Like I said, so remember, server-side rendering, so it just takes a little bit slower than initial part to load up. But once you have it on a big, beefy web server out somewhere, then it should load a little bit faster. So let me just hover over here. So when I hover over here above my head, yeah, if you can quite see that. I'll just show in here a little bit. Move my head down a little bit. Now, if I hover over here, it should show the tags. Expert hairdressing and Cal Copper Hair Salon north of Auckland. So it has those little meta tags in there, so that's alright. So we know that part works in there. Now, how much of this has changed? This is all good. Does the actual pages work? Yeah, so we're fine. Okay, so um, yeah, so it should. So it picks up local hosts. So when we run our mails, our actual web server, the web server's name is going to be our full domain. So reverse IP lookup, IP resolution, DNSing. So that should work. So the fact that it shows DNS and local host in here means that once we connect it to whatever in here, it will have whatever in the front. So the schema should work out. So all these are in here. Site is still fine. We've added some locations in here. We need to fix this photo. I'm gonna have to find a photo at some stage. Services. Yeah, no, I think we're good. We're good. So, what you also need to do very often is, you need to re-upload it and resync it to GitHub. So then you're gonna come to your Git. And we kind of did the same when I showed you bring this back in here. When I showed you the Lovable, syncing it back to GitHub, GitHub then syncs it back to Lovable, but obviously the site is not GitHubbed to Lovable. The actual website is still on Lovable at the moment, but this is the new improved website. So I'm uploading it to a separate repo. Okay, so and I actually don't know if I showed you this, but what I need to do is, in fact, let me go set this up quickly for you. So I actually did this yesterday, and it's actually a very important part. So I just need to re-say this, that originally we downloaded our files in 2 folders. Okay, so if you remember, we did 2 folders. We did the /new and the /old, and we downloaded our old repo. So in a couple of videos ago, the repo repository from GitHub that's connected to Lovable, we downloaded into our old folder, and then we told um we told Claude Code to create the new website from that website, but put it all in the new folder. Now, the new folder is technically not linked to GitHub. I did this yesterday and I should have videoed this, but you need to add your new website to a new repo in GitHub, because we're going to use that along for Netlify, and it's also good to have a backup. So, for example, I can make changes to this now and I can upload it to GitHub. If I make changes to it and it's all messed up, I just delete the folder and re-download it from GitHub. So I'm just going to quickly show you this. You need to do it in the folder that that is /new /new for you. So I'm just going to come through here. Just quickly going to look at this. So PDW is present working directory. I'm in my home drive, so I'm going to go back to the C drive. I'm going to go to projects. I was going to make a directory called GitHub test. Oops. Go there. GitHub test. So I just want to make a quick demo for you. So imagine this is your new folder, and we're just gonna copy a quick file in there. Let me go through and quickly find a blank file of source. Let me go find the SEO file. So give us a second. So I just need to show you a quick little demo for this, so you know how to do this again. So, and I should have done this at the start for you so you can understand. Now remember the SEO file that we generated with the keywords. So I have my I have my share drive in here. So I have that GitHub test in here. I'm going to put this file in here. That file's in there. Okay. So pretend this is your complete repo that you have of all your website in here. We're going to need to put this into GitHub. So I'm going to come to GitHub. And I should show you how easy GitHub. I'm going to go create a new repo. And I'm just going to tell this test to delete. I need to put, or I always do this so I remember to delete stuff later on. So I'm going to create the repo. And just hit the blank one in here. I'm going to hit the copy in here. And then go to ChatGPT and say, I have a new blank repo. I have git bash. I have a new folder with files. I want that to now be synced to my new blank repo. Give me step-by-step instructions how to. I said my spelling is not good today. I think my fingers are cold. It's pretty cold where I am. So, yeah, didn't even need to think. It's some basic instructions. So you're going to have your Git up in here. I have it up like this. And so we can see, hopefully you can see all that. So open git bash Netlify. So initialize the repo. So initialize the repo, make your first commit. No, but we don't have it. Got it. Here's your clean setup, new folder. I think I worded this wrong. So let me quickly reword this. I have a new blank repo. I have a git bash. I have a new files. I want to sync this. It's actually not done. This is not going to. Let's go. Just go for it. So you'll see how it changes in git bash. It changes. It's going to be initializing a new repo for you in here. Then we're just going to add it for the upload and just go through and paste it. So it's all right. So have that. So it's commenting or committing, whichever way you want to call it. We're going to get the branch and make the branch the new branch. The best part is you don't even have to understand all of this, but this is all good in the same sequence. Now we're going to change the repo to the new one. And we're going to, the non-existent repo. So we've gone from the master. So now we've set up this as our main branch. So everything we're going to have in here is going to go to here. And you can skip that one. And now we're going to push up. Yeah, so go push there. And that should do it. Just hit one file. And we'll give it a couple of seconds. You can go back in here. Cool picture. Sorry about that. Repo. Delete now. And there's our file in here. Okay, so you have to do this every time you want to save stuff up to the repo. Now I have one already in here. So I have it. I've done this for our files anyway. So I'm going to go to this folder. And I'm just going to do this kind of the same, right? So SEO projects, test 2, here by Melissa. And you'll see we're connected to a GitHub repo. And I think it actually showed you the command in here for it if you want to know where you are. Hit that. And it shows where we are. All right. So what I'm going to do is do the same. Git add dot git commit -m SEO updates 18th August. And I'm going to say, oops, like I said, my spelling is pretty bad today. So those are new things. Things has been changed and added. So then we're going to say, okay, push. And that's it. So it's done all my files, done all my edits. So it's sitting in the GitHub repo. So now if I have my repo, if I'm going to connect this now to Netlify later, I can. If I'm going to go work on my laptop, I can download and upload it. So it's a really important thing to do, an important step to have. So please remember that. I should have showed it at the start. But yeah. So next we are going to look at building out the separate pages. So the next part in this instruction here is going to be building out the block pages. So it's all going to go a bit longer. But yeah, we'll just go through the step-by-step content creation strategy. That's what we're going to do next in the next video, in the next episode. So talk to you soon. This was a lot of talking, so I hope I didn't lose you on these. And then we'll talk to you later. Thanks.